Getting right into this, on the Honda XR650L, there's two bolts holding on from just the front guard. They're 10mm, so I go ahead and remove the right and left one right there. Now I'm going to be removing the front faceplate. There's two little pegs holding the bottom, so lift the faceplate off those two pegs. On to actually removing the headlight assembly, there's two bolts holding this assembly in. They're like 12mm. Mine was a little stuck, so I used WD-40, so I went ahead and loosened it with that. And I went ahead and went to the left side as well after this. As for the right side, the left side was a little stuck as well, so I again used a little bit of WD-40, so it helped it break out a little bit. But as you see, loosened this one all the way, and then the headlight assembly started to fall down afterwards, but I went ahead and caught it and got the bolts. Set those bolts aside as you're going to need them later on for reassembly. This is where you can actually disconnect the actual headlight assembly, just kind of pulls off. Now, if you wanted to just change the bulb, all you do is you just take this little metal tab, push it back, and lift it up, and then the bulb just kind of pulls right out. Replace it, and pretty much do opposite procedure, and you can reinstall a new bulb. But in this case, I'm actually installing the JNS Engineering, as you can see that I am unboxing currently. If it matters to you at all, the packaging for this was actually very well done. It was very well protected, so obviously if anyone were to get this as well, you're not going to have any problems at all making sure it arrives at your house safely. It comes in bubble wrap, and instructions on the very bottom there, as well as an order sheet. So I went ahead and unboxed it for you to show you what it would be like when you order it yourself. Don't lose this little red wire that comes with it as well, because that's like the daytime run light wire, and you do not want to lose that because it'll later be installing it. You see the old bulb right there and the new bulb to the right there. Again, that little red wire is like I'm talking about. Do not lose that. So this is where I'm actually going to be installing that daytime run light. Because, I mean, you had that red wire, but you're pretty much going to have to cut into the stock wiring harness there for a second. I just kind of pulled the wiring back so I can get a little exposed wire here. You're supposed to connect this red wire to the daytime run lights, which is actually the white line you see there, white wire, should I say. And that little black piece I just removed there, you're going to be sliding it over the white wire. And then that little red wire, like I said, has a little, I don't know, like needle on it. And you stick the needle and the black thing, screw it together, and it kind of splices it into the wiring. Pretty easy. Doesn't require any actual cutting of the wire, just a matter of kind of removing the stock wiring cover. This is where I'm just going to be kind of connecting it just so I can see how it works, make sure it's functional before I go ahead and install everything back again. But yeah, connected the daytime, connected the actual H4 assembly, and yes, low beams worked great, and high beams worked as well. So that was what I needed to make sure. So on to more. Because I did kind of cut open the wiring harness a little bit, I went ahead and just taped it a little bit so I could cover up, kind of help the waterproofing slightly more. But then after electrical tape, it was good to go just like it was originally. So right here I'm actually just taking off this little rubber kind of gasket around the entire headlight out. It's not really a gasket, but it goes around the entire headlight, and that's actually going to be reused to the new JNS one. It helps kind of make a perfect fit in between the actual faceplate and the light itself. It just kind of slides around the edges, nothing really keeping it on, so keep that in mind. Back on reinstallation, you're just going to lift up the headlight assembly. It fits without any modification at all. And again, with the two 12mm screws, you're just going to go ahead and screw them back in. Mine was a little bit of a tight fit on the pretty much the right-hand side, but with a little bit of wiggling, it fit just right in. Just be patient with it if it is a little tight on your side as well. I'm going to move on to the left side now. And it went in a whole lot easier than the right side. It may have just been the fact that the wiring behind it was pushing it against the headlight. I'm not sure, but again, it'll fit without any modifications whatsoever. Obviously, no one wants their headlight housing to just kind of bounce around, so go ahead and just tighten it with, again, 12mm socket. Try to get the headlight as straight as possible because that's what's going to pretty much align it to the best. There's no real adjustment necessary on this one, but again, just try to get that light facing straight forward so it can fit in the faceplate smoothly. This is a test to make sure the headlight looks good and it is aligned correctly. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the low beams here. They looked great, and the high beams there. So as for reinstallation, we're going to be sticking back on the faceplate. There's those two little pegs I was telling you about. Make sure you align those first and then push on the faceplate. I'm going to be going ahead and tightening down the 10mm on the outside of the actual faceplate. Go ahead, do it yourself, left and right side. And then that should be the biggest part of reassembly. Now on to the best part. And that concludes the installation. Both the low lights and the high beams are fantastic and makes the bike look a whole lot more modern. I'd highly recommend this